we are going to talk about encouraging others to speak. So let's first take a look at this word encourage. Encourage, this word is a verb. So usually, if I want to encourage someone, this means I want to maybe help them feel good or help them feel better about something. Maybe my friend is having a bad day and I want to encourage her, or maybe let's say, she is going to run a race tomorrow and she's feeling nervous. I want to encourage her that she's going to do great. So I want to make her feel good. Now, here, when we say encouraging others to speak, it means kind of gently helping someone to be okay with speaking. So there are many ways that in times when we might want to do this. So, what can we do when we are talking to someone shy? Or what if we just want to make someone feel more comfortable talking and sharing their opinions? Or maybe we are talking to many people and maybe it's mostly me and my friend Amy talking, but my friend my friend Grace is here. Maybe she's very quiet. I want to get her opinion too. So what can I say? We're going to talk about a few different situations today. So, today, let's learn phrases to help people to start talking and phrases to help people continue talking. Maybe you are talking to one person and they're telling a story or they say something interesting and you want to know more. How to keep the conversation going, right? Very useful for speaking English. How can we keep the conversation going? And that will lead us into talking about the importance of follow up questions. If you have been watching this channel for a while or watching my live streams for a while, you know I love to talk about follow up questions. They're so helpful and important. So, today we will review a little bit about that and talk about how to use them in conversation. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about phrases to encourage people to start or begin speaking. So, this might happen in a group or maybe in a classroom, at work. There are many times we might want to encourage someone to start speaking. So, let's look at 4 phrases we can use for that. First, what do you think? And then the person's name. What do you think? So and so. What do you think? Lolly Lolly. What do you think, Pedro? Right? So we put in the name. Next, we see well and their name. How about you? We see does anyone else have an idea? So this is kind of a general question that we ask to a group. Maybe we've heard we're with 10 people. We have heard from 2 people. We want to hear more people's opinions. Does anyone else have an idea? Or we could ask someone directly. Do you have an idea? And their name. Do you have an idea? Okay, so let's see. These phrases are really good for group conversations. One of them we might ask to just one person, but these are usually more commonly used in group conversations when we want more people in the group to start talking or to share, right? So let's take a look at how we use these 4 phrases with an example. Let's say I'm with a group of friends and we are talking about what should we do tonight. So let's see 4 examples. So let's say I'm talking with my friends. We're talking about what we should do tonight. I might say, I'm not sure what to do tonight. What do you think, Amy? So here I am encouraging Amy to share what she thinks we should do tonight, right? What do you think, Amy? Thank you. I think we should go see a movie. Now we have, well, such and such. How about you? So here someone could share their opinion. I think we should go for a bike ride. Well, Jack, how about you? So here we're asking, Jack, what do you think? What do you think we should do? How about you? Next, we see, does anyone else have an idea? So this is usually later in the conversation when maybe we've heard from many people, but we want to hear from a few more. Or we're sharing many ideas and just asking, does anyone, not just one person, right? In examples 1 and 2, we are trying to get one person to talk. Here, we're just seeing, does anyone have an idea? So let's read sentence 3. We could go out to eat, go see a movie, or stay in. Does anyone else have an idea? So here, maybe again, many people, right? Does anyone else have an idea about what we could do? And last, we have one more example of asking one person. Oh, I can't think of anything. Do you have an idea, Grace? So here we are again asking one person. So these are all great phrases to encourage people to start talking. What do you think? Well, how about you? Does anyone else have an idea? Or do you have an idea? These are all great for getting people to share their opinions and start being a part of the conversation, and really any conversation. So let's see an example. Let's say we have 3 people talking, A, B, and C. So let's say person A and B are talking together, mostly. I think we should go see a movie after dinner tonight. Yeah, that sounds great. What movie should we see? I want to see the new movie Tenet. Me too. It looks so cool. What do you think, Amy? I'd love to see it too. Thank you for asking. So, here, if we look at this conversation, this is when 2 people are having a conversation. Let's say person A and B were doing most of the talking, but they want to make sure that person C is okay with what they're talking about. She's not really talking much, so they want to make sure that she agrees or has a different opinion, right? So person A asked, what do you think, Amy? And Amy answered, I'd love to see it too. Thank you for asking, right? So this is a great way. Here we used, what do you think? But we also could have used, well, Amy, how about you? Or do you have another idea, Amy? Right? We could have used our other phrases too. So here we see this is a great example of phrases and a conversation where we want another person to start talking and share their opinion. Now, what if we are talking to someone and we want them to continue talking? Here, we're going to talk about some different words and phrases we use when maybe someone is telling a story or they are just having a conversation. They say something interesting. We want to know more. So, how do we encourage people to continue talking or keep going? We could say simply, tell me more. We could use our open ended follow up questions with our 5 W's and H. who, what, when, where, why, how, right? We can ask questions that are open ended, which we'll talk about what that means. And we can also use simple, small reaction words like mm hmm, right. Little things like this show that we're listening and can keep the person talking. So these phrases are good for one on one conversations and group conversations. So these are phrases we can use anytime when we want someone to continue talking, keep talking about whatever topic they are talking about. So let's see an example. Here, we're going to see an example between two people. I'm so frustrated. I have too much homework, so I don't have time to relax these days. Yeah, it's been a difficult semester. I just don't know what to do. I found a way to make things easier. Can you tell me more? Sure, I've been keeping a schedule and doing a little work each day so I don't have to do too much at once. Good idea. How much work do you do each day? About 2 or 3 hours a day. So let's look at this conversation a little closer. So here, two people are talking about school, right? So person A, I don't have time to relax. I don't know what to do. Person B says, well, I found a way to make things easier. Now, the conversation could have ended there. Oh, good for you. I'm really stressed though. But person A is interested. Really, tell me more, or can you tell me more? And then they share. And again, oh, okay, well, I still want to know more. So here we have an open ended follow up question starting with how? How much? How much work do you do each day? About 2 or 3 hours a day. So we can see that these questions, like can you tell me more and how much work do you do each day, help keep the conversation going. Now, the another way that we can keep a conversation going is using small reaction words. So we often use small words like or oh, or no way. Right. To show that we are actively listening and want the person to keep talking. We often use these words when someone is telling a long story. So, this is a way maybe someone's talking and we are listening closely. Here we see actively listening. So, we're very interested in what they're saying. And when they say something, we react, right? We don't just sit silently and wait till they're done. We might use some small words like, oh, no way. Really? Right. Like this to show that we're listening, we're keeping up with what they're saying, and we want them to keep going. So we use small words because we often don't want to maybe interrupt or stop them talking by sharing our own sentence or our own story, but we want to show we're listening and we want them to continue. So we use small words like this. We can also use other reaction words or sounds too, like ah or a sigh or a gasp, like right? Just to show we're interested, we're listening, we are reacting to what they're saying. So, this really can encourage people to continue talking, just showing that we are interested and showing some small reactions that show we're really into their story. We want them to continue. So, the last way that we can encourage others to continue to speak is to use follow up questions. So, today, let's expand upon that skill. What are follow up questions? How can we use them? And what are some examples? So, a follow up question is a question that we ask to get more information in a conversation. Follow up questions usually start with our five W's and H, right? Who, what, when, where, why, how. For example, let's say I'm talking to a classmate, I might ask, why do you like your major? Follow up questions can start with the be verb is, am, are, was, were. Are you happy you chose it? And can commonly start with do, does, or did. Do you want to be a teacher? So, these are all different types of questions we can ask in a conversation to keep the conversation going. Follow up questions are important to every conversation, and there's something you really want to know how to be able to use in English. They keep the conversation going and again show the person you're talking to that you are interested in what they're saying. Just like those reaction words, oh, no way, really? Tell me more. Just like things like that show that we want to keep the conversation going, so do follow up questions. They can also help you understand the other person. If you are learning another language, follow up questions are great because they can help you to clarify, which means to make clear or to understand better what the other person is talking about. And we can do this with follow up questions. So let's look at some examples of the different follow up questions. So here we have our five W's and H who, what, when, where, why, and how. So let's see some examples. This is to show you that we can really ask questions about anything. There are so many. So let's see some who questions. Who are you going to dinner with? Who's your friend? What? What kind of movies did you like? What did you do last weekend? When? When did you do that? When are you going to go? Where? Where are you from? Where are you going on vacation? Why? Why is a great follow up question. Why is that your favorite song? Why do you like playing board games? And then how. So here we're going to look at some different questions with how. How often? How many? How long? How well? How good? How often do you exercise? How many classes are you taking? How good are you at playing soccer? How long have you been a student? So here alone, we see what 14 questions. So there, and this is just thinking of any question that starts with these words. So when you're in a conversation, keep those question words in your mind and you can ask them to follow up and keep the conversation going. It's very important in a conversation to ask open ended questions. These are questions that cannot just be answered with yes or no. So these are the best questions. Now, questions like that start with do or did you have fun? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Are you happy today? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Those questions are okay and they're fine to use, but open ended questions are the best because they really help the other person to talk more. They can't just answer with yes or no, they have to share more information. So let's take a look at some closed questions, some yes or no questions, and see how we can change them into better questions, open ended questions. So let's say someone is talking to me about something they did over the weekend. I could ask, was it fun? And they could say yes or no. So, how can I change that to an open question? What was it like? So, instead of assuming or thinking that it was fun, I could ask, what was it like? This is really, tell me more about it. What was it like? Instead of, did you enjoy it? How did you feel? Instead of, did you have a good weekend? What did you do over the weekend? So here we see a great example. Did you have a good weekend? Yeah, I did. Or no, I didn't. What did you do over the weekend? Well, this will be a much longer response. I went here, I did that, I saw this person, and so on. Do you like listening to music? We could change to who's your favorite singer or what's your favorite band? Or maybe we see someone drawing. So, you like drawing? Yeah, I do. Well, a better question could be how did you become interested in drawing or why do you like drawing? And these will make for better conversations that really help keep the conversation going because they help us get more information from the other person. So let's take a look at a conversation with closed questions. Okay, so here we go. Person A and B. Hey, did you have a good weekend? Yeah, it was great. Did you play any computer games? No, I just watched movies. Are you tired today? I hate Mondays. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. Do you have a lot of homework to do? Yes. Okay, so these are okay questions, but we see each time it's just yes or no. Questions that start with did or do and be. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, yes, no. So let's try to make this conversation better with open ended questions. So instead of, did you have a good weekend? Hey, what did you do this weekend? Not much. I stayed home and watched movies. So we still get that same information. I watched movies. But now we're going to ask another open ended question. Oh, what movies did you watch? We want more information, right? I watched the Lord of the Rings movies. I love those movies. Who's your favorite character? Oh, I think it'd have to be Samwise. Oh, really? Why is he your favorite? He's the bravest character and a loyal friend. They wouldn't have been successful without him. And so the conversation continues. So these open ended questions who, what, another what, why they help us get a lot more information from the person we're talking to, other than just yes or no. So remember to use open ended questions to keep the conversation going. All right, guys. So today we talked about phrases to help people start talking, like, what do you think? We learned phrases to help people continue talking, like, can you tell me more? And we talked a little bit about follow up questions and the importance of open ended follow up questions. So, these are all really useful conversation tools that you can use anytime you're having an English conversation.